Yeah, it's gonna be good.
But yeah, we're live, man.
Yeah.
We've got Joakim on the show today. He's a good friend of mine, probably one of the first guys that I was introduced to, while visiting Stavanger and dating my now wife. You're best friends, or one of best friends with my brother-in-law.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So I
Definitely.
appreciate you being on the show. I've heard a lot of cool stories
Oh
about you, and
no.
even before we met, I was quite intrigued to meet you, and now that we're here, we had a chance to hang out a couple of times, and I think not to like toot your own horn, but I think you're one of the coolest, like chillest dudes here.
Oh really?
Yeah, I know you just recently had a kid, so congratulations on that.
Thank you, man.
But
Thank
yeah, I
you.
just wanted to get you in here and kind of get to know you a little bit better and hear about your stories. I know you're a longtime musician. I want to hear about that. So yeah, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah,
I'm honored to be at the show. I was honored when you asked me to come to the podcast, man.
Yeah. I mean, when I first started, I always wanted to ask you, but it was like, like, would he even want to do it or not? But I was like, yeah, I'm gonna ask him, and because I know you just had a baby recently. I know with that, I mean, I have two, and that comes with a lot of responsibility. So
Dude, yeah, a lot of. I only have one, like 4 months old. So yeah, when you asked me, I was just like, how is this going to be possible?
yeah.
But yeah, it went well.
How's the baby doing?
She's good.
Yeah.
She's good. She's almost turning around. So
Oh, nice.
she's not crying. She's not crying
Yeah.
that much anymore.
Mhm.
It was quite hard in the beginning.
Oh, really?
Crying.
Yeah.
I don't know if you like reacted with your first
It
one.
it really depends. Like some kids cry a lot in the beginning, and then they kind of settle down.
Yeah.
Our kids were the opposite. Like we're like, oh my god, we have the best kids because they just slept through the night. They were quiet,
Wow.
and then like the fucking hell broke loose.
What age did the hell break loose?
I'd say around like 7, 8 months, 9 months.
Okay.
Yeah. Because my wife and I were like, we're talking to other parents, and they're like, oh my god, our kids don't sleep, and we're just like, oh, our kid does like really well with sleeping, So we're kind of like, all right, I guess we're like fucking great kids.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like a little bit overconfident, and then we're like, oh shit, yeah, waking up, but it's a part of the growing up process. Yeah.
I guess so. Is it still
Yeah.
like this? Like
No, actually, our kids go to sleep around 6:30. And then they
really?
sleep till 5 in the morning. Now, 5 in the morning is fucking hard to get up to, every morning.
Yeah, I went up to
Yeah.
5.
Yeah. But you kind of get used to it. Like
Really?
when you don't have kids and someone tells you to wake up at 5, you're like, why?
Yeah. Exactly.
But like every day we wake up at 5, and I mean, you're still kind of tired, but if you think about it, they're sleeping from 6:30 to 5. So they're getting rest.
Yeah.
You can't really expect them to sleep longer. I mean, I would want them to sleep till 6:30,
Of course.
because I don't need to get up that early, but
No.
it is what it is.
So, but do you like to sleep as well? Do you sleep early? Do you go to bed early at night?
I couldn't. No, so you'll find out. I mean, your kid's too young, so they probably like doesn't have any kind of schedule.
Yeah.
And most parents listening to this with small kids will understand. But you put your kids to sleep, and that like few hours you have before actually going to bed is like golden hour.
Yeah.
Because like you don't get any time to yourself.
No.
Like during the day, like unless the kids are in school, that's different. Like our kids are finding in Bonnehagen, so during the day, so it's nice. But when like before they go to Bonnehagen, they're with you all day.
Yeah.
So like when they're finally sleeping, like and you get to put your feet up, maybe have some beer or something. It's like the best.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing against the kids, but I mean, all parents would understand this.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
We just made a huge leap because this month we are able to put the baby asleep like 7, half 7 ish.
Yeah.
And then we have like 3 hours for ourselves.
Isn't that
before
nice?
She wakes up and wants more milk. So
Yeah.
it's like what? Like the first times we were like, are we doing something wrong?
Yeah.
Are we bad parents?
Yeah.
But we're in a role, man. It's getting better and better.
Yeah, congratulations.
Oh,
I have 2
thanks.
boys, and dude, I'm like, I got jealous when you said you were having a girl, because I now want a girl.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's she's beautiful,
Yeah.
man. She's
But
beautiful.
isn't like the baby smell the best?
insane. So I go to work and I don't see her for like
yeah.
8-9 hours, and then I come back
Yeah.
and immediately when she looks at me, she smiles.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm just like, yes, yes,
Yeah.
you know who I am.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Those are the like the intangibles of being a parent, you know? I mean, obviously there's the hardships, you know, like waking up early and all that, but um yeah, I don't know, it's weird. I mean, it's like it's so innate in us as as animals, you know,
Yeah.
to like take care of this thing and
Mm.
I don't know about you, but like before I had kids, I was like, yeah, kids, cute, I get it, you know,
Yeah.
it's great, you know, they'll grow up to be your friends, your best friends, whatever, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But like when you actually have a kid, and then I'm sure like my kids are turning like 1.5 and 3 now,
Yeah.
and they're starting to develop personality. They can communicate now. They can, you know, complain. Dude, it's fun.
Yeah. I could
Yeah,
imagine
yeah,
that would be fun.
yeah. And I just can't wait to like get to where they're a point where like I can actually do things with them. You
Yeah.
know, so like they're becoming men or women. You know, like
Yeah.
uh,
Dude, like throw a ball to them and stuff like that.
yeah, or go on trips. You
Yeah.
know, like a
Yeah.
bros trip with your kids. I mean,
Ah, dude, and
yeah,
you have like the perfect trip around
yeah.
the area and where you live as well.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot to look forward to. Obviously, pros and cons. If you don't have kids out there, you know that's fine too. But
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of benefits, you know, that I can definitely see. You know, now that the kids are a little bit older, and you know, you're starting your journey. You
Yeah.
know, not too long.
I was quite scared of because
Uh,
we got a cat. We had a cat
yeah,
2 years ago, and I fell in love with being a cat dad.
yeah,
I used to be. I'm still a dog person, but
yeah.
like after getting a cat, and I was so worried that I would love the cat more than the baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. I told my girlfriend. I told even the jordmor as well.
Yeah.
Everything's like I'm really scared if I'm gonna love the cat more than the baby.
That was a legitimate concern of yours.
Absolutely, and it was actually a concern maybe like 3 weeks in after the baby was born.
Oh,
I was just like, she's crying a lot. I love her, but I kind of want to cuddle with the cat now. But now it turned around,
yeah,
Now the
yeah.
cat doesn't get any love at all.
Oh,
It's all the baby.
has the cat changed, like personality wise, after the baby?
Yeah,
It has.
she's kind of more needy, which
Oh,
is it sucks, because when you hold a baby, you
yeah,
can't just
yeah.
cuddle the cat,
So the cat's like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah, she doesn't like her at
Taking
all.
attention. Yeah. You know, my wife's family, you know, Christina's parents, oldest parents,
Yeah,
they have a dog and he gets jealous.
yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Oh, but he's a feisty dog as well. That
Well, no, I don't, he's not so feisty, but he's more human than any dog that I've met.
probably because every
Yeah.
time I meet him, he wants to dominate me.
Yeah. Yeah, but he gets noticeably jealous.
Really?
Like if, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the old dog who killed their grandmother's dog?
No, the German Shepherd? No.
You didn't hear that? Oh shit! I shouldn't. Yeah, well, I think it was like a Christmas Eve or something, or a birthday party, and the German Shepherd killed their grandmother's dog, probably because jealousy.
Like actually like bit it and rattled it to
Yeah,
death.
yeah. That
Holy
I've been told.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I'd be afraid to have a dog like, I mean, 'cause that's a big dog.
that's a big. Ulish is getting one as well.
Yeah. But I'd be afraid to have that kind of dog, especially after doing that,
Mm.
to have around kids.
Yeah. I'm even afraid to have to leave the baby alone in the living room. with the
Yeah,
cat,
yeah.
If it was a German
You
Shepherd
never
there.
know, yeah.
We never. Probably it would probably be fine. Dogs is however you treat them.
Yeah.
But you never know.
But I think I don't know I think, are pit bulls illegal here in Norway?
No, I don't think so. I see a pit bulls everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, I think
Oh, I
so.
thought they're illegal.
There like some breeds,
Mhm.
kind of breeds are illegal. But I'm pretty sure most of them are legal.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want a pit bull?
No, I don't want a pit bull. I mean, I think they're great animals, but the reason I brought it up because yeah, they're just unpredictable.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know pit bulls get a bad rap because of the whole fighting thing, you know, and I know most pit bull owners like love their dogs.
Yeah.
But you know, there's incidences where, you know, the animal is alone with the child for whatever reason. Like, you know, you can't obviously talk to a dog. You know,
Yeah.
they get jealous or angry or something, you know, and they just rattle the baby and that's all it takes.
Yeah,
It's
and then
dead.
it's fucking done.
Yeah.
What's the John Wick dog? Not the dog that
Uh,
get killed, but the
yeah.
other dog he finds in the end.
Yeah.
Isn't that a pit bull?
I don't remember that part.
So it's a really cute dog. It looks like a pit bull.
Yeah.
And my friend from England, you met John.
Yeah.
So he said, like his grandmother,
Yeah.
they loved those dogs were called nanny dogs because they were so good with kids.
Oh, they're caring.
Yeah, like with babies and kids, they were really protective over the kids. So they called them, cheers, mate.
Yeah.
They called them nanny dogs.
Oh.
You know? So I don't know. Reputation comes and goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Depends on the. I mean, if you have like 200 years of dog fighting in the blood, it's gonna be definitely
that's true. Yeah. Speaking of dogs, my my grandfather in Korea, so my mom's dad, was like the town sheriff, and he was a big canine guy, so he had a dog. And he went on a work trip for like a week or so, came back, and the dog had basically like escaped from the house. And back then there was a lot of rats and stuff, so they put rat traps and like poison out, and the dog ate the poison. Yeah. And then he came home and the dog had died.
No.
And he went fucking berserk. Guess what he did?
Oh, I don't know.
So he bought like, I don't know how much. He bought a large quantity of poison.
Yeah.
And just spread it to the whole town. So like
if I'm gonna burn the whole town.
Oh, he was like, I'm gonna fucking kill every animal. Like that's how upset he was. Dogs, cats, chickens. I think even like some cat. Like they all died.
Really?
Yeah. This guy just went on a tear.
Oh shit! He went berserk.
Yeah, because his canine, his like cop dog died from eating poison.
Dude,
yeah.
That's kind of dark.
I know. My mom told me that story, and I was like, okay, that explains a little bit of my anger issues that I used to have.
Did you have anger issues?
Oh
yeah. I still have them.
Yeah.
Like, oh fuck, dude. Sometimes, especially on things or in traffic, I hate the traffic.
Is that a trigger for you?
Oh, it's definitely. It's like, oh, I don't know. I do drive slow, but when people drive slower than me, it's like it triggers. So badly.
Although, have you driven in the U.S.?
Yeah, no, I've been sitting in the passenger seat.
Oh, you'd want to kill people in the U.S.
Yeah.
Here, everyone drives very respectfully.
Yeah, because one thing I noticed in the U.S., when the red lights becomes green, it takes like 5 seconds before they drive.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck are you waiting for?
Yeah, certain cities are like in Hawaii. A lot of people don't honk. Maybe now they do.
Okay.
But like where I'm from, like if you go to like New York, DC, like any major city, you have half a second after that light changes. If you don't move, you're getting like honked at.
And this was in the South, so they were pretty.
Yeah, they're probably chill there.
More chill.
Yeah.
The first time in New York, the cab driver actually crashed his car. So I was pretty pissed off.
Yeah.
Somehow it was our fault.
Did you still have to pay for the ride?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
We paid for the ride, and we're just like, oh, fuck, what should we do here? Just like, give him an extra $50 for the damage he's done for himself.
Oh, you actually gave him extra money?
Yeah, I think Ulrike gave him some extra money for it. It's
good
like,
for you guys.
Yeah, fucking hell. Just, it was a bad neighborhood, just get us fuck out,
Yeah, you don't want to break down the wrong neighborhood in New York.
Definitely not.
No.
Like, Brooklyn, would that be a bad neighborhood today? Or
no, Brooklyn has gentrified.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Brooklyn's kind of like the new hipster area.
Yeah,
a lot of like coffee shops. Once the coffee shops start going in,
then,
it's turning hipster.
Dude, when did the New York legalize marijuana? Like 2-3 years ago,
probably. Yeah, don't quote me on that.
Yeah, it was after the pandemic, wasn't it?
But I think a lot of states went the legal route.
Yeah,
after the pandemic. Yeah,
and there's a lot of people complaining that the whole New York smells like weed now. I don't buy it.
I mean, people are gonna smoke.
Yeah, didn't it smell like that all the time?
I mean, if you smoke cigarettes, I mean, what's the difference? I mean, why are you not letting people smoke marijuana? I mean, it comes out the ground. If anything, it's more natural than cigarettes.
Yeah.
You're not putting chemicals and fucking glass and
lead.
Yeah, whatever the fuck they put in cigarettes. Yeah,
like we call it share. I don't know, like black stuff.
Tar or something.
Tar. Yeah. Why would you smoke that? Oh, I've been smoking that for many years, though.
Yeah. But you snooze, right?
I snooze. Yeah. You want to try?
No, So I was in a hostel one time when I was backpacking.
Yeah.
And this guy from Switzerland, I think it was, he's like, "You want to try some snooze?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Yeah.
But he didn't actually have snooze because he was so poor. So he had like a bag of tobaccos and fucking toilet paper.
I put that in.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know. I was like, I don't know. This is what you guys do, and
they call it snooze.
Yeah, and he's like, and then so he put tobacco in toilet paper, and basically like did 2 folds. And then he gave it to me. He's like, just stick it under your lip. And I was like, okay. I don't know, 15 minutes goes by, 20 minutes. And I mean, it's toilet paper, right? So it doesn't absorb as good. So I think there was a delayed effect.
Okay.
And he's like, do you feel anything? I was like, no. I was like, give me another one. So I put up another one. And then the first one kicked in. And then the second one also kicked in. And dude, I felt like garbage.
Did you puke?
I felt like I didn't puke. I didn't puke, but yeah, it wasn't very fun.
No, it is not fun.
So after that, I just like, I'm not sticking anything in my mouth. That's going to make me that sick.
It's wise. It's wise.
Yeah.
There's always, we did a tour with some Americans and Canadian guys, and they always wanted to try the snooze every day. Give me another shot, you know.
Oh, really?
And every day was like 5 seconds, or next day 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And then eventually one guy puked though because it was too much. But yeah, you get used to it, I guess.
But it's more convenient because like you can't smoke inside now.
No.
So if you have snooze, I mean, no one fucking knows.
Yeah. There's like, I don't know. There's some few places in Europe where you can smoke inside, which I kind of, it reminds me when I was young, you know, it kind of, I don't know, it's something comfortable about it, but still, I understand we shouldn't do that. But that's where snooze comes in really handy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think in Denmark, they were saying the way they got around that was like if you have a bodega.
Bodega?
Yeah, it's like, I wouldn't say like, again, don't quote me. I'm saying it's all wrong. I'm making assumptions here, but it's like a type of bar, and they do allow it. So like, so if you're like a traditional bar, you can't smoke inside because it's like a formal business establishment. Okay. But if you're established as a bodega, then it's like something else, and you're allowed to smoke. I think that's how they get away with it. Because I went to one place in Copenhagen, and like people were smoking, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And they're like, yeah, it's a bodega. It's not a.
It was like fully.
Yeah, inside. Yeah. It was just like how you register it.
Okay.
With like, you know, the communa or whatever. But I didn't like it. I mean, you come out, your whole outfit smells like cigarettes. And,
you can't hide that.
Yeah. But snoozing is huge here in like Scandinavia.
Yeah, you've been living in Denmark, right?
Yeah, Denmark for 2 years. And
speak in Denmark as well?
No.
Not that much?
I think people do it, but no, it's not a thing. A lot of people smoke there.
Yeah.
Just like the French, you know, they still big time smokers.
Denmark, they're known for drinking a lot of beers.
Drinking beers and smoking,
Dude, I drink so much beer. It's insane.
Yeah.
They're kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
No, I think in Norway, Sweden, maybe Finland is like more into snooze.
Yeah, but I think it's becoming really popular in the U.S. as well.
I've seen it. I saw
what do they call it?
Stations in the U.S. even.
There's a name for it. I don't know. There's a U.S. name for snooze, and people are fucking loving it.
But the cowboys used to have like tobacco up their lips.
Yeah.
What kind of tobacco was that?
It's straight tobacco, I think.
Really? Yeah. Just like put it up.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah, but and there's no like filter on there, so all that like brown fucking shit comes out, and then so you see most people who dip. Yeah. They usually, unless they're outside, they usually carry like a bottle with them, and then like they spit into it.
Yeah.
It's fucking disgusting.
So I only snooze like this bag snooze, you know. But if you snooze like the older guys who snooze, they snooze loose. It's basically like it looks like dirt.
Yeah.
They just put dirt up, just like
I think that's like dipping.
Yeah. So a guy I used to work with, he basically had like a half a box, just put it on this. He didn't have 4 keys anymore, you know. God. It didn't look good at all. And they had like glass fiber inside them.
Yeah, they cut.
So they cut, to cut the veins
to get more in.
Yeah. And so the old guys who snooze, they can put their lips over the nose because they cut the veins so much, you know.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they can just like. It doesn't look like they can.
Yeah.
It's so stretchy.
That's got to be so bad for your gums and teeth.
It has to be really, really bad.
Shit.
Yeah.
Fuck, what? Just do heroin. I don't know. If you're going to go that route and start cutting your insides.
Yeah, why don't fucking use the needle?
Okay. Yeah, I'm not advocating for heroin, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm just saying like that's pretty extreme for trying to get high, I mean, or get a buzz.
Yeah. You know? I think it's kind of a little more milder than I had.
Yeah. What about drinking? Are you a big time drinker?
Not so much anymore.
Oh.
Well, I've been drinking a lot when I was playing around everywhere, you know. So it's like when you play metal, it's a lot of drinking involved.
Yeah.
It's always been, especially with rock and roll as well. But so yeah, I've been drinking a lot. Been fair share of drinks,
Yeah.
beers, but not not much. After
Yeah.
I moved from Oslo back to Stavanger,
Yeah.
I never go out to the town. I never go to a bar or anything.
Yeah.
So it's not so fun to sit home, drink alone, you know.
Yeah.
So, nah, I don't drink that much.
Yeah.
Just maybe 2 beers on a Friday if I feel it.
Yeah, just to kind of chill out and
Chill out.
Yeah. And I feel like here, I mean, I've been to Oslo. Oslo's a much bigger like going out city.
Oh, definitely.
You know, Stavanger's more, you know, like let's meet at your house, let's have some dinner.
Yeah.
Type city. I mean, there is a scene out here, but certainly not as big as Oslo, right?
Definitely not. It depends on what kind of scene you go. If it's only drinking, you know, it's definitely Oslo is definitely bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that's what I liked about Oslo as well. You know, just all right, you want to hang out with friends, just meet at the pub.
Yeah.
It's that's the thing I kind of wish Norway had. Not that I wish we were drinking more, but when you go to England or Denmark, they have a pub culture.
Yeah.
And Oslo is the closest thing you would get to a pub culture.
Yeah.
Other cities in Norway is not that much of a pub, and it's not that much of a pub culture in Oslo as well. But compared to the rest of Norway, it's definitely more.
Yeah.
But I wish we had more like because in Norway you work Monday to Friday, and from Friday to Sunday you piss drunk. You know, that's if you don't have kids, you're really fucking drunk, like you're absolutely hammered. But when I see in England or in many other countries in Europe, you see they might go in for a pub for 3 beers on a Monday or a Tuesday. Or
during the weekday,
yeah, just for fun, you know, just to hang out, and they don't focus on getting drunk, you know, just like hang out and then they go home and make some dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
But we don't have that here. So. And I think it's because of the laws, the drinking laws. In Norway is really strict, you know. So it's like when you first have the time off to drink, you drink your ass off.
Yeah.
I think it's it's not that good.
I think there's a cultural aspect to it too, because again, England has a big pub culture, like you said.
Yeah.
So like drinking on a Tuesday, who cares? Everyone does it.
Everyone does it.
But I don't know how it is here, but it seems like here and especially in the U.S., if you're drinking on a Tuesday, it's like, what are you doing? Like
it is in the
on
US
a Tuesday.
as well.
Yeah. Come on.
You're alcoholic?
Yeah, I mean, fucking beer on a afternoon and on a Tuesday, you know, it's like, come on, you know.
Do you think that has something to do with the Christianity? Because it's really strong in Norway and in US, like the mentality of the Christianity, if you know what I mean. It's like quick judging people. Like you would like this though. If you drink on a Tuesday, you would be like, see, you're alcoholic. That's Tuesday as well.
No, I think just culturally, and especially in Denmark too, because you could walk around on a Tuesday like with a beer in your hand on the street.
Really?
There were parents drinking at the local playgrounds.
Fuck yeah. Really?
Just like a beer in their hand. Yeah, I mean, it's,
yeah.
I mean, literally a beer in hand, and then they're like pushing their kids on the swing.
It doesn't look good.
You know, to be honest with you, I thought like in theory, I'd be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But I didn't really care.
No.
It's like, you know, this guy's not getting drunk. I see, for me, it's like I am a big advocate of freedom.
Yeah.
You know, as long as, dude, worship whatever you want.
Yeah.
Behind closed doors, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you're not bothering people or it's offending people.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
Exactly.
That's me. So if you're drinking a beer, you're not offering it to kids or you're not being belligerent.
Yeah.
Fucking have at it, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I feel. I mean,
why would you stop if you're having a good time and it's going well? Well, you want you want to stop when the game is good, of course.
Yeah.
But as long as people having a good time and nobody's getting hurt, do whatever you want.
Because I think that's a slippery slope, right? Because once it becomes an issue, then it becomes law. There's no stop. I mean, where do you draw the line?
Oh.
You know, you can't do this. And I think it's so funny that in Norway, like in the grocery stores, you know, you can buy beer.
Yeah.
But at what time is it? They close the curtains.
In the weekdays, 8 on Saturday.
So it's like, if you can't see the beer, then you're not going to want it.
Yeah.
Type thing.
It's
like, come on, man.
And that's also a reason why I think when Norwegian gets to celebrate the weekend, we get absolutely shit-faced because you have to buy in beer just in case you don't get empty like 11 o'clock in the night, you know. So you buy in a lot of beers, and the more beers you have in the fridge, the more you drink. Especially if you're young, you know. If you're like in the 20s, you buy a lot of beers because you're afraid you don't have enough beers. And then that's like a recipe of disaster when you get super drunk.
Yeah, and I hate to get all philosophical, but I think there's a time and place for government. Obviously, we need laws, you know, but when you start going down that route of making everything a law, you're kind of like babysitting adults.
Yeah.
You know, you're babysitting your society. And I think, again, I always say this with a disclaimer, I'm not throwing Norwegians or Norway under a bus, you know, because I think there's so many things that you guys do right here, you know, so I hate to be like, you know, nitpicking at things, but I think that's one thing. It's like, if that's a law, like regarding like irresponsible drinking, I feel like you almost like don't trust your citizens to behave.
Exactly. I always said that the Norwegian lawmakers is babysitting everyone here. I always said that because I think it was after the Second World War, if Norway was supposed to build up their country, you know, because we were the poorest country in Europe. So if you were drinking after the war, you would be looked down at from everybody. So from that perspective, that's kind of rolled into you know, like a bad habit of lawmakers. And exactly. That's it's babysitting, and they don't trust anyone. Look at Denmark. Okay, they have like beers everywhere. On Sunday, you can buy it on a gas station, like US as well. But why shouldn't we also have that? You know, I wouldn't go and buy a beer at Sunday if I'm not into it, you know. If I'm free and I don't have anything to do, you know, I can play some Rocket League. Fuck yeah, I don't mind go down and buy 2 beers. That would be nice. But no, they don't give me the choice.
So then you gotta, I mean, it's like you're gonna drink anyways. You know, so you either stock up and go crazy on Friday, or you just go down to your grocery store on a Sunday. You know? It's like, well, what's the difference?
Exactly.
You know? Exactly. So I think, like I said, you guys do a lot of things right here, but I think in terms of that, it's a little bit more the way I say, kind of babysitting. You know,
definitely. And we do a lot of things so right, it becomes wrong as well. Sometimes I think it's just like it's getting over the head sometimes.
Exactly. Like, so, like, where do you draw the line?
Exactly. There's a lot of stuff going on. With that.
And I hate to get on the whole topic of like drugs and alcohol or whatever, you know, but dude, I mean, if you look statistically, more people get in car accidents with drinking, more violent events, you know, with drinking, you know, like with marijuana or like, you know, recreational drugs or whatever you want to call it, you know, you do it in the comfort of your own home. You're not like, it's not bad for society, you know, I would say. Now, obviously there's people that are going to abuse it, you know, and that's bad for society in general. I'm not advocating for drugs, but I'm just saying, like, I'm advocating for like allowing people to do things responsibly, you know. And if you look at alcohol, in principle, it's debilitating. You can't drive. It you know, it induces angry people to become even more angry. So, like, how is that any better than like marijuana? I don't know. I'm not advocating for marijuana, but I'm just saying, like, if you're going to be setting laws, like, principally, you should be consistent.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wish they would legalize marijuana, man. I think that's a way better alternative when it comes to drinking. You know? I think that's it's the most peaceful way to celebrate. I don't know, getting intoxicated.
I mean, because you know, for the people that smoke, it's like you smoke and you're not out fucking like trying to cause fights. You know, you just want to chill out. You know, I mean, open up a bag of chips and.
You want to avoid everything.
That's like the last thing you want to do is get in an argument with someone you're high.
Exactly. But it's super illegal here in Norway. Super illegal.
Yeah. Do you think they'll come around?
Never. Not a chance. Not this.
Wow.
I think we have to wait maybe 50 years because it's been young politicians coming to power. Before they come to power, they've been like, we should legalize it. And then every time they come to power, they change their mind. And I think it's just a bad, I don't know, man. It's a bad pattern. It's happening time after time. I don't think we're ever going to do it, to be honest. Now, I think, Germany just legalized last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I don't know if the coffee shops is open or anything. But so they started probably a trend, But unless Denmark starts to look at legalizing it, we're going to be like 15 years after Denmark.
Yeah, I
Always.
think if anyone's gonna if that domino's gonna fall, you know, here in Scandinavia, it'll have to be the Danish,
Definitely.
and then it'll trickle up.
Yeah.
Because I think Denmark is kind of, I mean, also geographically, but they're kind of in between here, Sweden, and the rest of Europe, you know? So if Germany's doing it, I think the Danish may follow suit.
It's going to be hard with the borders.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of work for Denmark in the borders if they don't do it as well, because they're so and the rest of the Europe.
But do you know in Germany if it's like open field, like, okay, you can buy, sell, like whatever, or are there certain laws?
I think they came out with some laws. I was reading it last year. I think you could have 3 plants at your home, and you could carry 10 grams. I don't know how much you could buy and stuff. So Germany is doing it really strict, which like I'm from Norway. We have so much strict in alcohol, so I wouldn't expect anything less to do that as well with cannabis. But I think I think it's gonna be a little bit more strict, way more stricter than US.
Yeah,
but still, it's a good step for them though.
Yeah.
It's a lot of good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I think there's a big, like, in terms of the economics as well, because if you legalize it and you do it right, I mean, you don't just fucking like open the gates and then just let people, you know, sell, you know, kilos and kilos of marijuana. And now you're like a legal drug dealer.
Yeah.
If you do it right, I feel like it could be done, you know, like if you legalize it for recreational use, if there are certain limits to how much you can have or grow, you know, or have on you in possession in public, I think it could be done right. And then also too, if you're doing it like in California, you can get weed anywhere. Really? There's dispensaries everywhere.
Really?
You can literally walk in, show your ID, walk out with some weed, gummies, whatever you want, and it gets taxed.
Yeah.
So the government makes a ton of money off this.
Yeah.
You know, and then so you can use it for treatment if people are having issues, but you know, if you're not,
if you get addicted, you know, and you want to quit, and you can't quit alone. That's like other stoners would pay for your
essentially
treatment. Yeah, perfect.
So because I mean, in theory, when you go to buy at the dispensary, you pay taxes, and the dispensaries pay taxes for selling it. That money could go to treatment. So if the people that need it, there's financing for it. You know, whereas if it's illegal, like here or anywhere else that's illegal, if you have an issue, it's like you can't even like bring it up because it's so illegal. You know, then like you're under a microscope.
I hate that thing when every time the politicians are trying to, some politicians are trying to fight for to make it legal. And every time they have a debate on it, debate never goes anywhere. It just goes around and around and around. But it's illegal. It's always the end of it. So it's disgusting. Norway and Sweden, we are the 2 most dangerous countries when it comes to smoking cannabis. If you get caught of smoking cannabis, or if I smoke today, then I can't drive a car in 3 weeks.
That's insane.
That's insane. So if I smoke today and I drive a car 1 week later, they stop me and they take a spit test on me, I'll lose my license for a year or more, and I have to pay 50,000 ish in kroners in a fine, and I might get 30 days in jail.
Wow.
One fucking joint. Isn't that crazy?
3 weeks after.
Yeah, and this is just going on and going on. They don't want to change it, and still, like Norway and Sweden we are the number 2. We are on the top of the overdose of drug overdose in the whole world.
Wow.
Don't when it comes to population percentage, they don't want to change that.
I mean, you would think if you're like an elected official in government that they would understand that they have a duty to like look at the reality of things. Because obviously, like, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But I feel like there's a drug issue here.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, Sandnes has been really bad. It's been really shitty.
Yeah. I mean, literally like 2 minutes from here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Like a dangerous place especially when I was young. It was fucking. It was a lot of junkies doing heroin everywhere. You know, it was. It didn't look good. Yeah. But at the same time, it kind of scared you when you were young. You know, when you watch these guys go around naked, screaming. a needle in their hand. You're just like, I don't want to be that guy when I grow up.
Holy shit,
so it's kind of mixed signals,
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah, it's Norway has a lot of drug problems. People don't think of that, but in Oslo, especially in Oslo, it's big. Share first. But it's it used to be huge in the 2000 in the 90s. It was really bad in the centrum. Yeah, I remember me and Ole and a bunch of other guys. We were playing. I was 14 years old, and we were taking the train from Sandnes to Oslo because we were playing a show. And when we came into the Oslo S, the station, when we went out of the station, we looked to the left, and it was like, what the fuck? It was like it was called Plateau, and it was just like a big area with the homeless people.
Oh, people just strung out, and
it was Skid Row.
Wow.
It was basically fucking Skid Row.
Oslo Skid Row.
Oslo Skid Row, and in the middle of the center, it was the first thing every tourist saw. It didn't look good at all.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you're seeing that in a lot of places now.
Yeah.
You know, like even if you go, I mean, obviously San Francisco has, you know, a huge problem. LA, you know, any major city, but it's becoming a huge fucking issue.
Yeah, is it getting bigger now after they legalize it as well? That has a lot of stuff with the homeless thing in the US has to be with the what do they call it? The new drug, like a very
fentanyl.
Fentanyl. Yeah. There's a big fentanyl crisis.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Well, because it's so strong. I mean, what did they say? It's like 10,000 times stronger than like heroin. I don't know. I'm probably
something crazy.
But it's incredibly powerful, and it's much cheaper for the cartels to make it.
Yeah.
So in terms of a business for them, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So 1 gram can get 10 grams.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's easy money.
And what they're doing is like they're basically blending it in to make, you know, the heroin or whatever you're taking a lot stronger. But, you know, this isn't like a federally regulated lab.
No.
You know, it's probably some dude in the jungle, you know, like mixing up a batch of whatever, you know, and I mean, you
Organic.
get a chunk of fentanyl that didn't really break down, and then now that's in your batch. You're dead.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Yeah, I stopped smoking weed a long time ago because of the fentanyl crisis.
Yeah.
One time I remember I was having a joint, and I was taking the ashes in a beer bottle, like an empty beer bottle with just a little bit beer in it, and I put the ashes there every time I was smoking. And when I went to play some PlayStation, all of a sudden I see that in my side vision, I see something coming up from the bottle, just like a chemical reaction.
Holy shit!
I was just like, "Fuck this shit, dude!"
Oh, from the ashes.
Yeah.
Mixing with the beer.
Yeah, never happen. That should never happen. You know, that's a chemical. That's not the organic at all.
Holy shit!
That's shit, dude. So yeah, it kind of scared me a lot.
Yeah.
Because you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're like a party goer, you know, you go to a rave or, you know, a techno concert or whatever.
That should be dangerous.
Yeah, and then, you know, I mean, people think, I mean, it's a party drug, you know, we'll just take one, but
everybody does.
I'm not trying to scare people, but I mean, you don't know where it's coming from.
No.
You don't know the source.
No.
You know, you don't know if it's like not mixed in well, you know.
Yeah.
Oof,
dude, it's bad.
Are we sounding old now?
Yeah.
Because, you know, in our 20s, we're like, fuck it, I don't care.
Fuck it, I'll take the chance.
Yeah.
It's funny stuff starts to happen to you when you become 30. It's quite weird.
Well, I'm now 40.
You're 40
I'm
now.
40, dude. Yeah. I mean, I think mentally, I don't know. I always say, like, you know, people who are like older, they're like, I would do anything to be 18 again. Yeah. I'm not that guy. I really appreciate where I'm at, you know, and I'm just happy with where I'm at. But I mean, times certainly have changed, you know. Dude, I noticed, not to sound like the old guy again, but when I was younger, dude, I did competitive snowboarding, powerlifting, like nothing fazed me. Dude, at home, like I'm spinning my kids around, I get so dizzy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, when did I get so dizzy?
This is a workout.
Yeah. And I'm like, I gotta sit down. I mean, I feel old when stuff like that happens, but luckily I have jiu-jitsu that saved my life, and I feel somewhat young doing that.
That's you still do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, and I'm actually planning to compete in 3 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. You should come.
In Sandnes?
Yeah, it's the Rogaland Open.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I'll try to come, man. Yeah.
It's at my gym, which is like 2 minutes from here on Langata.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
if I get my ass kicked, you can watch me.
Yeah. You're gonna fight like a 20-year-old, super.
Could be.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But bring it on, man. I'm ready.
Yeah, fuck him, man. Fuck him up.
Yeah. I mean, there's I know I get nervous just talking about it because, like, you know, obviously it's competition, and I'm sure. I mean, that's probably how you feel before like a show. You know, you get that like nervousness.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm really looking forward to it because I'm a big advocate of like doing something almost on a daily basis to become uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So you become uncomfortable. You become more comfortable with being uncomfortable. You know, that's kind of like my whole mindset philosophy in life. And there's nothing more. There's two things: doing an open mic, stand up. That freaks me out, so I plan on doing that.
Oh shit!
And then competing in jiu-jitsu, like those two things freak me out. For
never done that before, like you compare in jiu-jitsu.
Oh, I did compete.
Yeah, you did,
and it was nerve-wracking. Yeah, but I had a great time.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know, so I want to continuously, you know, to do things. And if you're listening to this and you're in your bubble, you're in your comfort zone, you know, you're used to getting your nice, warm, preheated car. You know, like. I would very, very highly recommend that you do or find something that's uncomfortable, you know, whether it's like you think it's going to be embarrassing or you think it's going to fail, or maybe something physical, you know, that you've always wanted to do. I would really encourage people to like venture out and like try and do something at least once a day that's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know, and just get a little bit more used to being comfortable with being uncomfortable. Yeah. You know, because I think that's where most of our growth happens.
Definitely, man. You know? I've been growing a lot of for myself, so doing uncomfortable stuff, you know, and especially I had 7 years without playing a concert, without even having a band rehearsal because the band quit, and I was just done with it. So last year I got a phone call, or I got a message if I want to join a band, and I was going to open a festival here in Rogaland. Small festival, but still like fucking 7 years without any live shows. I'm gonna open a fucking festival, and it was so uncomfortable. Oh, dude, I was a nerve wrack, and I wasn't a nerve wrack before. I played over 100 shows, hundreds of shows, but this time it was fucking different. But now I'm 4 shows in, so now I'm back on the track again. But
Now, do you think that was because you had taken so much time off?
Yeah.
Like in between performances?
Definitely.
Okay, yeah.
Definitely, man. I've been playing PlayStation for 7 years. Yeah. Go to work, go home, play PlayStation, make songs for myself, never release them. I never want to do that anyway. Yeah. But yeah, the live stuff, man, it was when you wait 7 years and you do play live, you love it, you know, you absolutely love it. You love the attention, everything, and then just totally cold turkey, you know, you just quit it like that. And then 7 years later, you come back. It's scary as fuck.
I'm really, really fascinated and want to get to know your music career.
Oh yeah.
Because for those of you guys that don't know Joakim, he's a great drummer. You played in, you know, obviously a lot of different bands and done a lot of concerts. What was like? How did you get into drumming? Is it something you just kind of you picked up when you were younger and got into it, or how did it?
Yeah, I was always into drumming because my brother gave me 2 cassettes. You remember cassettes?
Cassette, yeah.
I got 2 cassettes, and I got a Walkman from my uncle in Christmas, and I was about 4 or 5 years old.
That's exciting.
Yeah, really exciting. And the only cassettes I got was 2 Iron Maiden cassettes.
Oh.
Power Slave and Peace of Mind and Somewhere Back in Time. And I used to, as a 4-year-old, I think I was maybe 5, probably 5-year-old. It was before I started at school. I was just like, so when you have Peace of Mind, when you first start that album, the album starts with a drum roll.
Yeah.
And you're 5 years old and you're fascinated by drums. You don't have drums at home, and you hear this, you're just like, I'm gonna be a fucking drummer.
Yeah,
sure. You know? So I was always interested in being a drummer, but I never had drums until I was 13.
Oh, okay.
I think that might be a lie. I was 12 years old maybe when my father come home with a really shitty drum set. It was an old, like a super old drum set from the 50s, and it was basically, it wasn't good at all. But I started to play every day when I was about 13 years old, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was because of my brother. He's 7 years older. And he was playing a lot of, he was a part of a scene, like a hardcore scene here in Sandnes and Stavanger. It was like a vegan straight edge scene type of stuff. So he was playing a lot of shows and was traveling around the world. And I just like, fuck, dude, I really want to do that myself. And I saved up some money, like 1,000 kroners, bought a really cheap drum set from a friend of mine, and started a band right away.
Wow.
Yeah,
At what
yeah.
age?
I was 13 years old, I think, when I started the band.
You started a band at 13.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 13 or 14. Yeah, I think I was 13. And
Was Ole getting like singing at this point, or?
well, Ole was probably a couple of months later when I became 14, I think. That's when me and Ole started to jam with another band. So basically, it was two bands with almost all the same members, plus Ole was in the other band, and then me and Ole played for many years after that. Different bands here and there. But I got to thank my brother and his mates, for showing me the way that it's not just a dream; it's also really possible.
Yeah, because 7 years older. I mean, that's a pretty good age gap.
Yeah,
for you to kind of see him, like you said, pave the road.
Yeah,
and so you were starting to. I mean, did you like kind of idolize him?
Oh, definitely. Because back then his band is called Purified in Blood, and they were doing a lot of they had a couple of bands before Uprising Hour. They have Sunflower Kids, a lot of bands before they become Purified in Blood. But when they become Purified in Blood, they had like the wind was blowing their direction. They were doing a lot of tours in Europe and in America.
Yeah.
And they were getting really popular. So that's easy for you when you see your brother is about 17, 18 years old traveling, and you're like 12 years old, or that would be 10 years old when I started to see him doing this stuff,
Wow.
You kind of want to do the same.
Yeah.
But we didn't have much money in our family, so a drum set is a really expensive stuff. The way my brother got a good guitar and a good fucking amp was when he was doing the confirmation, the confirmation.
Yeah.
So because then you get a lot of money from the family, so I had to buy a good drum set when I was getting confirmation.
Yeah.
But before that, I eventually bought a 1,000 kroners drum set and just played the shit out of it.
Just like a little drum starter kit.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it was so cool.
Yeah. So he was so you were 12, he was like 19.
Yeah.
So he was starting to tour at this point.
Well, I think he was. You should have him. You should have him on.
I would love if you're listening. I would love to have you on the podcast.
Because he has to correct me on everything here. I think.
Okay, yeah.
But I might be 10 years old when he was starting to tour. He was playing at least a lot of concerts everywhere. But I remember he was coming home from tour when I got my first shitty drum set that actually didn't work. It was like goat skin on it, and I'm a hard hitter, so it lasted one day, and then all the skins were broken, because they were 60-year-old skins. But when he came home from tour, I got the drum set when he was on tour, and when he came home, the drum set was destroyed. The skins was destroyed. We didn't have we didn't have enough money to buy more skins. And I was starting to play it the wrong way. That was natural for me to play left-handed. It's not now right-handed is the normal thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I was starting to play left-handed. And he was, when he came home, he was just like, oh, fuck, no. You don't want to do that, It's so stressful when you go out on tour. If you're going to travel around and you have to take, you're going to warm up for another band, you're going to take the drums to the other side and stuff like that. So when he came home, he showed me the other way. How you should play the other way. So I tried to do that a little bit, but the skin was so fucked up that I couldn't play more. So I think it was 18, 17 when he started to do some tours. He was really good at football, you know. So he was actually supposed to train with Viking, you know, the
local team.
The local team as a keeper, but he didn't want to. Or he kind of want to, of course, but he wanted to do this music stuff.
He was more drawn to the music than the sports.
Definitely. So he was dedicated.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are you when you got this like starter kit? I mean, back then, you know, YouTube obviously wasn't huge or anything.
No, it was break.com was huge back then.
What was it?
Break.com.
Oh, is that how you learned?
No, definitely not. I learned by listening to albums.
Oh, wow. So you just listen and then play?
Yeah, I don't know any notes. The same when I play guitar, I don't know any chords, nothing. Wow. I only listen, like try to listen, you know.
Wow.
So I can sing for a bit, but I can find some tones on the guitars, and I can definitely find the beats and drums though.
Did that come natural for you? Like, what was like learning that, like, oh, okay, I can do this, and
yeah, it's natural. If you're a drummer, you would know it's easy to learn other songs, you know, and the same with the guitarists. I never understand vocals, how they can learn to sing like that. How can you just start singing and hit the right tone all right away? Yeah. I never understand that, but drums, if you're in love with drums, you're also in love with beats, you know. You're in love with rhythms. So the rhythms comes naturally because of the love. So it came naturally at my life.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Every time I go to like a concert, I mean, of course, the lead singer, they get all the attention. You know, you get like the guitars, you know, they're trying to wedge in to get some attention. But like, I always get so fascinated. I don't know, for some reason, I always get drawn to the drummer.
Yeah.
Because, dude, they're like in their own universe.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, of course, they're on stage, you know, but most people, I would venture to say, like, focus on the singer, right? Because they're in front, you know, you can hear their vocals.
If they're good singers.
Yeah. But I always found it, I don't know how my brain works, but I always get drawn to like the drummer because he's like in his own world. And, you know, especially like, you know, when you're on stage, and I'm sure, you know, like when you're performing, like you're just in the zone, you know? Yeah. And I think that's just so fucking cool to see. Because I feel like, again, I'm not bashing on like guitarists or lead singers.
Fuck him, man.
But it's like they're purpose built, right?
Yeah.
So their purpose is like to put on a good show.
Yeah.
Right? But I feel like, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm a complete dumbass when it comes to music.
Yeah.
But I feel like, at least from my perspective, when I see a drummer like fucking killing it, they don't give a fuck, you know. It seems like they don't give a fuck like who's listening.
Yeah.
They're just having like the time of their life, you know. And that draws me to them because there isn't like a secondary benefit for that.
Maybe you're a drummer. See, maybe you're deep inside.
I don't know, man.
A rhythm guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Because I do the same when I go to concerts. It's just like, oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's a nice guitar. Yeah. What about the drums? You know, I want to listen to them drum fills. You know, I always get I always listen to the drummer at the live shows. Unless there's like a fucking wicked guitar player. I do love guitar solos.
Yeah,
they're good.
Yeah, because sometimes you'll see like lead singers kind of like hand off the mic or like the attention to the guitarist, you know, and they have like a solo.
Yeah. It's
they'll put their
professional band.
You know? They'll put their feet on the mic. I mean, on the you know, the speaker. But it's pretty rare that like, you know, they go, hey, let's give the drummer a solo.
Yeah.
You know, and
you don't want to do that.
Yeah. But when like people do that, it's very rare.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it because it's like the drummer, you know, they're like fucking you know, it's like
No, you shouldn't do. I shouldn't do that because if you give, it's like if you give me a finger, I'll take the whole arm.
Yeah.
So if the guitarists have like 15 seconds of a show off, I'll have 15 minutes.
Yeah. We got to cut this guy off.
Yeah, it's gonna be too much.
So what was it like?
It's gonna be good as well.
What is it like touring? Because I mean, that's got to be, I mean, fun for one.
Yeah.
You know, I always like romantic because I never. Dude, I play the fucking flute.
You did?
Yeah, you know. I always thought older, like as a joke, I said, hey, if you guys start a new band, I'll play the cowbell.
Yeah, man.
You know, or like the triangle, you know, just so I can be in the scene and, you know, be a little of a groupie. But Yeah, I romanticize about people that tour and like artists, like what is that whole experience like?
Oh, it's you're asking the wrong guy. I've been on a lot of, I've been touring a lot, but it's been like my bands have never been very popular. So it's been like couch surf.
Couch surfing,
Yeah, basically from friends to friends of a friend. You know, we only had one tour. We played with a band called Kalesa and from America, from Savannah, and a Canadian band called Sierra, I think. That was my first experience of a real tour. And when I say real tour, it's not like super nice hotels. Not because at least the booking company was fixing a lot of places to sleep. We didn't have to think about it, But besides that, it's always been touring. It's been really hard. It's really fucking hard when you're not playing a popular genre, or if you're trying to play a popular genre. There's a lot of people wanting to do the same. There's a lot of people going to the bone. So you it's hard because you sit in a car like this, with people next to you, and you sit there for 8 hours in a car, and then you're out of the car, load out everything on the stage, set up the drums, set up everything.
So you're bringing everyone's bringing all their own gear.
Yeah, we're not professional.
Holy shit.
If we would have like fucking, if we would made it, we would pay people to
transport
drive, transport,
set everything up.
Exactly, drum tech guy. But I never had that, and I'm pretty sure I'm never gonna have it as well. But I do love the underground of it, That's where I come from. That's where I'm used to. But now that I'm getting older, it's getting harder and harder to do all that stuff alone. So, touring is really nice, especially in your 20s.
Yeah.
It's super nice. And before 20s, it's even better. But if you wanna tour nice, you should play a nice genre of music. You wanna play like a pop genre. Because you're probably gonna make it easier, or probably not easier to make it, but if you make it, you're not gonna have a lot of stuff with you on tour, and you're gonna have people to fix stuff for you.
But if you're like Iron Maiden, you're just literally like showing up on a tour bus, having a couple beers, and then going on stage, and then you don't have to set up anything, you don't have to tune anything.
No, you just go
out and kill.
Just like warm up a little bit in backstage, have your own drum set in the backstage, somebody set up for you magically, and then you go to the live show.
That's the shit.
Imagine, are you going to Iron Maiden? It's coming to Stavanger now in the Viking Stadium.
I would love to.
Yeah, they're coming in, I think, in June.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah.
Dude, you should just see if you can find some tickets. It's like that's gonna be a holy day for the whole Stavanger.
Yeah. Where are they originally based from?
From America? No, from England.
From England.
They're from England.
Yeah.
So English, the British steel kind of. It's not. We had Judas Priest. They were known for the British Steel album. But I always think all the British bands, I call them British Steel, the whole thing,
So they're kind of like the Beatles in the metal scene?
Like Iron Maiden?
Yeah. Because they're arguably one of the biggest, most well-known.
I think for me, it's the biggest band ever. Yeah, definitely. I would call them even higher than Beatles.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think so. The Beatles did a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
But Iron Maiden, man, fucking hell.
That's crazy.
It's so good. It's so fucking good. Yeah. It's insane. And it's my first cassettes as well. So it was inevitable.
Yeah. So I'm not I'm getting into metal music, but again, just to admit, and like historically, I never listened to metal.
Yeah.
But when I was in Hawaii, I did real estate.
Yeah.
And I had a client that was looking to buy a house on Maui.
Yeah.
And so we got under contract. And I remember because I was working with the realtor on their side. So they were representing the seller. I was representing the buyer.
Yeah.
So my buyer wanted to buy the house that they were, looking to sell. And I got the contract, and I was reviewing all the information, and their realtor was like this older, lady, she's like, yeah, my client, I was like, what does your client do? Like, and just out of curiosity. And he's like, yeah, he's like, he's in some band.
Some band.
Yeah. And I go, oh, cool. Like some local band. And he goes, no, I think they're like kind of popular. I don't know. She's like, I don't listen to the kind of genre of music. I don't understand what they're saying. But he said like, if I remember correctly, the name of the band he plays in is like Iron Maiden or something. And I go, I'm like, who's your client? So the deal didn't go through, but I almost was in contract with.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
You mentioned that.
Yeah.
Funny you mentioned this. My last show, like 7 or no, now it's 8 years ago though, but my last show before I had the 7 years pause,
Yeah.
the last show I did was in Rockefeller in Oslo, and we were warming up for a band called Killswitch Engage, and they were on tour with another band who was warming up for them as well, and they were called Raven Age, I think. And the Steve Harris is the bass player in. He's the man behind Iron Maiden. His son was playing the same concert we were playing, so I knew that when we came into the backstage, So that was pretty cool because we were the first band out, and then Raven Age were after us, and Steve Harris' son was playing in Raven Age though. Yeah. So, and after we played the show, he came up to me and said, "Fucking brutal, mate." And I was just like,
"Oh, really?
Yes."
Did you fanboy out a little bit?
Yeah, I did fanboy a lot. I wanted to tell your dad, But yeah, that was a good way to take a pass, But we shouldn't have passed it.
Fuck. Could you imagine being like that legendary?
Imagine being if you were like son of Elton John, whatever. How are you gonna become that great?
That's a lot of pressure. And imagine if you're like a really shitty musician.
Oh yeah, fuck, dude.
That would suck.
I bet there's a lot of them.
Yeah. But I mean, there's no guarantee that they're gonna be. I mean,
no.
There's a lot of like athletes, like that their kids become athletes as well, and like you see it in boxing and stuff. But
yeah,
I mean, there's no guarantee your son or daughter's gonna be a good musician just because you're,
No, it's gonna be a highly
likely,
yeah, highly. But and also the drive is not gonna be, might not be there.
Yeah,
the hungriness, whatever you call it.
Yeah, and plus, like, how do you fill those shoes?
Yeah,
possible. Like,
but there's some people, like Haaland, fucking Haaland, mate. That's his father was really good, and then Haaland comes and fucking does everything right, smashing every record.
Yeah. What does it feel like being on stage? Like when you're performing? I mean, that's got to like, kind of like, I mean, obviously you're performing and you're like making sure you're playing the right notes and stuff like that. But like, what's going through your mind? What's the whole experience like when you're on stage?
It depends on every person. For me, it's always been like, I don't know. My big ego always want me to be like the best in the room right now. So if I'm gonna play drums, and I don't, I'm gonna play so hard that nobody's gonna like question how hard I play. Yeah. So I play so fucking hard. And being from hardcore and then metal and then now rock, I play like Scandi rock now. When you play Scandi rock, you don't play much. You don't play double pedals. You don't do like fucking crazy fills. You want to be like you want to play with a good feeling kind of beats. You just like two steps, and you don't want to make much of you don't want to make too much of yourself. So you're gonna give it a little space for the guitars and the vocals. And
so they integrate a little bit more.
Exactly.
And just
But then then you just play really fucking hard. So that's what I do. I play really hard, and it gets me in a zone when I'm playing in performance. It's like, okay, so it's like a zone I have where I close myself and I start to play, and when I feel a little bit cocky, I say, okay, I can feel it. I feel the rhythm now. I'm in it. Then I open the zone, and I'm just like basically in my head, my big ego head. Yeah. I go like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you to everybody out there. Not in a bad way, just like, oh yeah, oh, you want some of this? You want some, listen to this. And then I just play really hard and see if I get any reaction. And then I close myself. I don't know. I don't know if people do that, but it's the way it helped me, though. Yeah. Especially when I when I started to play again, I had to close myself in the
Mm.
beginning, you know, just like beginning of the show, and then just open a little bit, and it was a little bit scary, and then just fucking burst through.
Is there like an element of, because you know, like when you see stand-up comedians, they really, it's like it's more of an art than a science. They have to really kind of feel the crowd and, you know, crowd work and stuff like that.
Yeah,
For drummers, is it the same?
not
No,
at
because
all.
it's more of a performance that they're just, you know.
Exactly.
Okay.
We just like percussion stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So the vocalist would have it,
Okay. Yeah.
and also the guitarist. You know, if the guitarist goes onto the monitor and just like shreds like
Yeah.
crazy, and there's 2 people in the crowd, it kind of looks weird, you know, if you don't read the room.
Yeah.
But the vocalists mainly do that.
Okay.
They're really good at reading the room. And
So is it safe to assume that it's a little bit less pressure in that aspect?
kind of,
Yeah, because you're not like front and center, you're not crowd controlling.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. But if you fuck up, you hear it right
Oh,
away.
Yeah.
Because you're the backbone of the whole
Yeah,
band, you know, as
yeah.
a drummer. So if you fuck up and you lose the sticks and trying to take a new stick and you kind of miss a beat,
Oh.
yeah, it's easy to listen to it. But if you do that a lot, you're getting used to how to camouflage it a little bit as well.
Like if you drop your sticks in the middle of a performance, would the average person like at the concert like be like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?"
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. Some might, but probably not. Depends, you know. Sometimes you lose the sticks and you're out of sticks. You're just like, oh shit.
And then there's this,
Find something that everybody will listen to it. You know? But
or you're just playing like a bongo.
yeah, I'll do the bongo drums.
You don't have like a backup like spare sticks.
I
like...
have tons of
Okay,
backups.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. I have everything on my side. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if you heard of the. I think I forwarded you a couple on Instagram. But
I don't have Instagram.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh, then maybe I don't know. But there's a guy. I think he's from Spain, but he's got like this mohawk.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he's like
He's insane.
in next level.
Dude, he's insane. Oh, dude, this
Like even when you watch him, does it go, holy shit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite bands of all time is Sepultura, right?
Yeah.
And Igor Cavalera is the drummer. It's like 2 brothers, Igor Cavalera and Max Cavalera. So the guitar and the drums. Igor, he's like, nobody hits harder than him. He's always been my idol, you know. He's hitting so fucking hard. His feel is amazing. And now Sepultura, they've been a part of Sepultura for a long time. And now, so Sepultura has been doing their own stuff without the brothers, which I always thought was kind of weird. I never listened to the new albums, but there's a guy who joined Sepultura a couple of years ago, and he's just the same age as mine. And he's so fucking good. He gets me so angry because he's so fucking good. And he's now the new drummer of Slipknot as well.
Oh,
fucking insane. Same with like Slipknot. Is I was late to Slipknot, but Joey Jordison, the old drummer of Slipknot, amazing drummer. Amazing. It's like one of the graves. He died sadly. One of the graves I want to visit is his, you know, just because he's fucking unbeat. And then this new guy comes in, Jay. Oh, sorry, I can't remember his name. Really good drummer. He's been in Slipknot for a couple of years, but I don't know if he quit or if he got fired, because now the guy who is just the same as me, which I don't remember his name right now. Kind of have a brainstorm. Brain fart.
Yeah.
But he's so fucking good. And he plays the Joey Jordison's drums harder, even harder. It's like fucking, he plays so hard. It's so insane. I'll show you some videos later, man. It's insane. There's some drummers are just coming up and coming there for stay, and man, it's insane.
So as a drummer, when you listen to a performance or like a solo performance or at a concert, you recognize right away, like, wow, this is another level of talent.
Absolutely. Yeah. But keep in mind, I'm an amateur. I'm a super amateur drummer. So whatever I listen to, I can listen. It's like if you're an amateur in anything. If you're an amateur in jiu-jitsu and you see somebody like insane, you definitely know you know how insane. So, but there are some amateur drummers that just blows you away sometimes. You know, it's just like, what the fuck was this?
Yeah.
Who are you? You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice when you meet people like that.
So what's next for you? Like, as far as are you still in a band? Are you gonna be performing? You're gonna be
Yeah. So I just recorded a record now, and so we're gonna drop a single in a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
have we have a lot of concerts in Norway and in Germany, Sweden, Denmark, and Italy. So I think we have about 15 concerts, and it's growing.
Holy shit.
It's
And what's the
growing.
band's name?
You know who? It's a Scandi rock band.
Okay. Yeah, nice.
So definitely check it out.
Yeah.
So they released an album last year called Dump, and the old drummer he didn't want to play anymore, so they asked me, and I said yes, and I also got to do another record, which I fucking love to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be cool, man.
That's awesome.
gonna
And it's
be-
on Spotify,
It's on-
YouTube?
yeah, it's on Spotify.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be good.
Yeah, if you're listening and you haven't heard it, go ahead and download and subscribe to you know who?
You know who? Cheers, mate.
Yeah. So listen in and you're gonna be tour. I mean, not is it a tour or are you gonna be just performing at different venues?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a tour, but it's kind of a touring.
Yeah.
You know, it's a grown man's tour. So it's like a weekend, like 2 concerts,
Yeah.
boom, boom, and then 1 weekend off, maybe 2 weeks off, and then 3 concerts on a row.
Yeah,
You know,
nice.
so it's gonna be like Denmark. The closest thing we're gonna do a tour is Denmark and Germany, Norway. You know,
Nice.
that's the closest thing.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And now, like before, like right now, when you think about performing and stuff like that, I mean, do you still get like the nervousness and the anxiety, or are you looking more like excited for it, or what are your feelings?
Actually, I've done 4 shows now in a half a year, and like 3 of those shows have been in almost a month. So I'm kind of cocky right now.
Yeah, you're
So-
kind of in the zone.
I'm kind of in the
Yeah.
zone. I'm not that scared anymore.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like that's what that happened with the first show as well. It's like it all felt very familiar.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like I've done this tons. What am I scared of?
Yeah,
So right now I'm definitely more cocky than scared.
yeah,
So
that's okay. I mean, you need some of that in music.
Definitely.
I mean, you're a performer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're using your whole body.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of want to use the whole
Yeah.
body with good attentions.
And I'm sure like that self-confidence, cockiness, whatever you want to call it, there's often a blurry line there, like resonates in your music, in your
Yeah.
performance, because if you're like skittish, if you're a little timid, maybe you don't perform as well. Is that
Yeah.
true? Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You can hear there. Like when you asked me earlier about if you hear a really quality
Yeah.
drummer when you go on a show, you can when you don't hear a quality drummer, you can hear his almost. I don't know. Sometimes it might sound like he's scared to hit, and you can definitely feel that if you don't, if you're not confident. Confident. So I'm always afraid to not be too like that. That people would think I'm not confident because sometimes when you don't feel confident, you just have to turn that back on, just like fuck it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess this is a good kind of segue question, but do you still have aspirations as to like maybe joining a huge band or becoming well known? Like where do you still have those aspirations, or are you still just kind of playing for your personal satisfaction and passion?
It's more like my personal satisfaction actually, because if I would be lucky to join a big band, it's going to be a lot of touring, and I'm going to be away from the family. I don't think it would ever happen because I'm not that good a drummer to join a big band. But I've been thinking about doing some YouTube drums, just like cover songs on YouTube. But I have the time to do it.
Yeah.
I don't have the time right now. But in the future, I think I might do some cover bands, cover songs.
Cover songs, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are real popular now.
Really popular, and I just wanna do my own covers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah.
And also, I want to, like, every time I go to play drums or everything, almost every time I talk to other drummers, they tell me I play wrong, which I find like, but there's nothing right and wrong. But like, because some drummers just play like school clean things, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I've been fan of Bonzo, the Led Zeppelin drummer, John Bonham, because he didn't play school clean at all. He was like really dirty drummer. And I always thought I have more in common with that kind of drumming style because because I didn't go to drumming school. Plus, I also hit hard, so that's how I could make my sound better. You know, just for trying to do more like that though. So if I ever have a YouTube channel, I want to be sure to let people play your own stuff. You know, play your own style, build on your own style.
That's really unusual to hear because it's almost like, you know, if a painter paints, it's like someone saying that's not the right painting.
Yeah.
It's like, what gives you the right? It's art, you know, it's a performance. I mean, even within metal or whatever genre, there's like thousands of different styles. So I think it's very, fuck those people, whoever told you that.
Yeah, thanks, man. Fuck
playing it wrong. I mean,
it's just like you don't hit like this, or you hit wrong in the cymbals, and they're right because my cymbal, I crash my cymbals every time. You know, it's expensive. It's like 5,000 to 8,000 kroners for a cymbal, and it lasts like 2 shows. So I know I play wrong, but that's how it is. That's how it is, man. If you don't, that's just how it is.
Yeah, fuck them. Don't. Yeah, be you.
Yeah. I have to be me.
Yeah. Do you still have a pretty close relationship with your brother?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's more. It's been closer and closer actually. The older we get, so we was really close when we were young, very young, you know. But when he was touring a lot, he was out of the house. I was living home with my parents alone. So, but it's getting closer and closer.
Yeah. And now I mean, this is obviously a full-time thing for him. You know, he's touring with his band and everything.
Not now.
Okay.
So he was touring a lot, and then he started to work as a guitar technique and stuff like that for different bands, and then he became the tour manager for different bands and artists. So, and he also have like a lot of side hustles. You know, he's doing a lot of stuff. So right now he's working 2 jobs. Doing stuff. Both of them are music related. So he's not touring it because he has 2 kids. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to go away from them. It hurts. So
it's crazy how again we talk about pros and cons of having kids. You know, and if you're like at like the brink of a high level profession, like, you know, whether you're an athlete playing sports or whether you're a musician. Yeah, I mean, having kids, man, can put a pretty hard stop on that.
Definitely. You know? And if it doesn't put some kind of stop on it, it's going to be probably problems later. You know what I mean? Like the kids is just not gonna have a father or mother that's being there because he or she is going everywhere in the world.
Yeah, you see and hear a lot about that. You know, you see like whether they're athletes or artists where the parents aren't there because they're touring or, you know, whatever. I don't know. I mean, one can argue and say, yeah, that's a selfish endeavor because you're essentially like, you have kids and then you kind of ignore them, which I don't believe in. I mean, you should be there, but I think there's maybe a better way to do it. But yeah, I mean, it definitely, it's hard because, you know, you have like, even myself, like I feel like I still have so much more to accomplish, you know, and I don't want my kids to be the reason I don't do those things, you know, but at the same time, it's like, I know the realities of what I can and can't do right now. You know, like if someone if a huge band came to you and said, hey, be our drummer just fucking got hit by a bus. Come tour with us for 9 months. Your answer is like, I can't. You know, I mean, even if that golden opportunity came up.
I can't.
You know?
So, no, I can't and I won't. You know, it would be cool. It would be awesome if you asked me 5 years ago. But no.
You're like, hell yeah, where are we going?
Exactly. But not now. Impossible.
So there is a selfish aspect. But, you know, if you look at a lot of people at that high level, you know, there is a selfishness. Like I did bodybuilding for many years, and dude, I couldn't bodybuild with kids. You know, like it's all about me. You know, like my nutrition, my training. I was just spending so much time and energy on like my goal. You know, of being a professional bodybuilder. So having kids into that mix just doesn't. I mean, I'm not saying that's impossible because there's a lot of really high level athletes out there, you know, that do have kids and that make it work. But again, it's more rare than, you know, what's common, I think.
Personally, I don't think I would be good at doing both. Definitely not. So if I have like 20 concerts a year, that's pushing the limits for me, you know. If you would be still doing bodybuilding and you would have 20 contests a year.
Yeah.
You know, this
Oh yeah.
it's
There's
gonna that would be it. You know, not more.
Yeah. I think there's I mean, I think unfortunately there's going to be a little bit of resentment one way or another, because if you're that performer, musician or whatever, and you do pursue your passion, you know, like hardcore, and you have kids, then maybe your kids resent that.
Yeah.
You know, the other way around, if you just fully commit to your kids and ignore your passion in life, you kind of lose that identity, and then perhaps you'll resent your kids, you know?
True.
So it's tough, you
It's
know?
tough.
I mean, obviously if you grow up and your kids become great human beings, I mean, that's very satisfying, but a part of me also, like, again, not putting my kids down or anything. I mean, they had no part in this, obviously, but a part of me thinks like, you know, I do fear that, you know, like, oh, I have kids. I'm inhibited in a lot of ways of doing things that I want to do. Like, am I going to resent that? So I do think about that.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. I get a lot. Like, I think a lot of I'm a daydreamer, right?
Yeah.
I always daydream. I don't
Yeah.
know why I daydream a lot.
Yeah.
But that's one of the cons which having a kid, because if you daydream, a lot of times when I daydream, I want to go back in time and just like, oh, what if I did this instead of that? But now after having my daughter, every time I daydream and end up going back and think, what if I did this? It's like, oh no, but then I wouldn't have my daughter. So it's like I can't travel back in time anymore for my own thoughts, you know, because my daughter stops me every time.
Yeah.
It's kind of I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's a good thing though, you know. But I can see what you feel about. Sometimes you feel you could be a little locked in, you know, like you're locked into the house or in the family house.
And again, I don't want to speak for everyone else, but I think most people that are listening who have young kids, you know, let's say under 10, I think they could empathize. You know, I mean, I think we're all in the same boat in some way. We have a really close friend of ours that we made we met in Denmark, in Copenhagen. She's Polish, but she's you know, in her prime. I mean, she was a super model.
Oh, really?
I mean, you talk about all the big designers, the Louis Vuittons, the Chanels. She's been on every commercial, runways, Paris, London, New York. I mean, like supermodel, right?
Wow.
And after she had kids, I mean, she's still model. She's very successful still, but having kids really put a damper on that, you know? And, you know, like, and then you have to like shift gears and like raising your kids, you know? So a lot of like her, I guess, momentum in that industry kind of subsided a little bit. I mean, naturally, because she has to raise her kids. Yeah. And then for her to like try to get back into it, because her kid's a little bit older now, it's like that ship has kind of sailed, you know? And we talked to her, and, you know, especially when you're at that high level in your industry where you're like fucking a supermodel, you know, and you're on every commercial, every, you know, advertising, to have kids and then try to come back from that, it's like, it's tough.
That's going to be possible.
And it's like, you know, I always say, like, how do you not resent your kids a little bit?
Yeah.
You know, because you were like on top of the world, you know, everyone knew you. You were like, you know, the whatever. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. It's gonna, it has to fill with your mentality, you know.
Yeah.
It definitely has to.
Yeah.
Especially for her though, being so big.
Yeah. But of course, you can't blame the kids, because like they didn't have it. They didn't ask to be in here, you know, like to be, you know, on Earth, and
you brought them here.
You brought them here, yeah. So you have to take responsibility. So it's a really, I don't know about you, but like I'm 40, and you know, 2 kids now. It's just such an, you know, I never, when I was younger, you know, people say, oh, midlife crisis, you know, I was like, that's not for me. You know, it's like, you got to really be, you know, struggling in life to, you know, but dude, I think I'm facing or feeling a lot of those, like those complexities in life. You know, yeah, because like I never used to think about like mortality and death.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and like when I was younger, it's like I'm gonna live my life to the fullest.
Yeah.
If I get hit by a bus, that's it. You know, I've had a good run.
Probably never gonna die anyway.
Yeah, you know. I mean, people always think they're gonna live till 77, which is like the average or whatever.
Yeah.
But dude, you look.
I would be lucky.
Dude, you look around and it's like, dude, there's people in their 20s getting cancers, and you know, like you just never know. So I've been thinking about, I don't know about you, but I've been thinking about that more and more, especially after having kids, because now that I'm seeing like my kids grow up, I want to be there when they're like adults.
Yeah.
See what they do for a living, you know, see what their passions. I mean, maybe they become a famous drummer, maybe they become a big entrepreneur.
Yeah. I definitely think a lot about that after having a daughter.
Yeah.
I've been working on construction my whole life. So there's a lot of dangerous positions in the construction, of dangerous tools to do whatever, and heights. And I've never been more scared than now. You know, like fucking hell, man. I'm getting more and more scared to do it. We were doing some. We were measuring water in a sprinkler pipe. So you have to have a big pump to push out the water, and then you're gonna see how many liters in the second you get. And there's like thousands of liters coming, like thousands, you know. And the whole fucking room shakes like crazy. And I've done it many times before, but now when I did it now, I felt the whole fucking room was gonna fall on my head. You know, I'm just like, oh shit, I'm gonna die. So I just opened the valve and went out. And I'm gonna go in and close the valve. Like, and I was so fucking scared. So I definitely think about that more because of having a kid.
All right, now I don't feel as bad because, dude, I've been like, I mean, it hasn't been like consuming my life, but I've been thinking about it a lot. And I was like, man, what's wrong with me? You know, but again, like, you know, you mentioning it, you know, after having kids, you know, thinking about it a little bit more. I think it's a natural thing.
I mean, definitely. My colleagues said it as well.
Okay. Okay. I feel much better now.
No,
I thought I was fucking losing it.
Yeah, no, man. When you're 15 meters, like 40 meters up in a lift, and you're just looking down, you're just like, fuck, dude. It's just like, just one mistake and you're fucking dead. Yeah. You really start thinking about that after having a kid.
And just going on the same topic, like before, I used to do a lot of traveling, you know, so I rode a lot of planes.
Yeah.
And not one time did I think, oh, this plane might go down.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the end of me, you know.
Never.
But now, like, you know, we just went to London with the family,
Oh,
you know, like my wife and 2 kids. And I'm just like, there's been a lot of plane crashes lately.
Yeah.
You know, like fucking planes.
Especially around an area.
Yeah. And I now think like, oh my God, like this thing could fucking crash, you know. Never thought about that before.
Did you think about it the whole of the trip? Like,
Not the whole trip because our kids were going crazy, but but like, you know, taking off and landing, you're like, oh my God, thank God. And I felt like that old dude, you know, like praying on the plane, you know.
That's just part of fucking adult life, I guess.
But I have a friend who's a pilot. She's a commercial pilot.
Oh.
And it's still fucking amazing how many flights there are every day. I mean, there's probably hundreds of flights in the world every day. And you hear very little. I mean, this year was kind of crazy because you're like 2 or 3.
Yeah, you're 3. Yeah.
But for how many, like the proportion of like accidents versus how many like flights there are, very low.
Very low.
Yeah. Super surprising.
It's more, they always say it's more dangerous to drive a car.
Yeah.
And I think a lot about when I drive a car.
Yeah, no.
Oh, dude, I'm scared as fuck to drive a car, even though I'm angry at it. But not when I have my girlfriend and my kid in the back, I have to be really calm, you know.
Yeah.
But even if I drive from work to home, I'm just like, all right, can I wash out this idiot? He's braking a lot, you know. I don't want to get smashed into him or whatever.
You know what I think about? People here in Norway kind of drive, like if you, especially on the highways, there's a lot of highways that are not marked in the middle.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like they're, you know.
Yeah,
so I've been.
They're very narrow. As well.
And then, you know, like driving from here to Homosok.
Yeah.
You know, like they're flying.
Oh, dude.
You know, it's like it's all country. You know, like, you know. And I don't know. This is fucking. I've been thinking lately of like, you know, those, because, you know, in Homosok there's a lot of like big trucks.
Yeah.
Right. You know, like farm trucks and trailers and shit like that.
Yes.
And I'm just thinking like, if I got into a head-on collision with this thing, dude, I'd be like fucking nothing. Nothing would be left.
You're done.
And I can't get that out of my mind. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me.
A friend of mine was he crashed. You know, when you drive through Vatne.
Yeah.
And you come like you just follow the road, and then you come to the first farm. You know, the farm has a swing before the farm, and then it goes down.
Yeah.
And my friend of many years ago, he was having a head-to-head collision there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was really bad shape, but he's still alive. It's all good.
Oh shit.
But every time I go to Homosok to visit my parents, every fucking time I go to that place, I'm just like, oh shit, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna fucking happen.
Yeah.
It's a scary road, especially right in that hump there.
And I probably don't help myself because it's like, you know, the car crash thing, you know, it's like you shouldn't look at it, but you do. I watch like Instagram clips of like deaths and accidents and
I'm allergic to it.
You can't watch those?
I can't watch shit.
God. I can't not watch those.
You know, you have to watch it.
I have to watch them. I always tell Christina, I'm like, look at this accident.
No.
She's like, no, I can't watch it.
Fuck that
but
shit.
like animals killing each other, animal hunting, like not suicides, but like murders. I watch a lot of like like business camera videos in like Brazil of like drive-by shootings and shit like
yeah,
that.
I've seen some of them though.
I
But
just
I don't.
yeah.
My algorithm is against it.
No, my algorithm is like full of those.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so if you like open my phone and took it for a day, like you'd be pretty traumatized. I don't know why I do it. It's just kind of one of those things like, you know, some people are squeamish, you know, they can't look at blood and stuff like that. I don't know, I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why not? I mean,
But then on the flip side, I've seen that kind of stuff. So then like with my like progressing hypochondriacness, you know, and like mortality,
yeah.
I'm just like, oh my God, I should probably stop.
Dude, yeah, it's not good for your blood. Or it's
No.
not good for your sleep, I
No.
guess.
Yeah.
Do you have nightmares when you watch stuff like that?
I don't.
Well,
I think I'm
made
just,
for it.
yeah, I think I'm just used to it.
You're a military guy, aren't you? You probably
No, not military, but federal law enforcement.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you've probably seen some stuff. So
No, we're like the pretty guys on scene, you know, like, you know, we come in after all the dirty stuff's done.
but you
type of
still
thing.
see some documents about some stuff. So
No, because I did intel.
oh yeah.
I did intel and counterterrorism work.
Dude,
So we don't see
it's
much.
really interesting work.
Yeah. But that's a whole new can of worms. But yeah, I mean, I really appreciate you being here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think you know, especially after having kids and stuff like that, it's hard to make these kind of opportunities happen.
Yeah.
But
I
like I
was
said,
glad I could come and
yeah,
everything went like the planets was aligned.
aligned, yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. But it was really fascinating hearing about, because you know, like and I say this on every episode, but I find it really fascinating to learn about people's like passions in life or even their jobs or something like that. And I've never been inclined to play music. Like I said, I played flute and I was like the last chair in my band because I suck so bad, you know. And I was like, I can't wait for this to be over. I did play a little bit of guitar and I enjoyed it. I'm actually thinking about getting a guitar now.
Dude, do it.
Yeah, like maybe like just a beginner acoustic guitar.
Acoustic guitar.
Yeah. Because I played in college and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I sing like a horse. I don't play instruments very well. So naturally, I was very interested in learning about your career and your passion for drumming, and obviously your life in general now as you have kids and stuff. But yeah,
cool.
no, I really appreciate it. And I hope we get a chance to do this again and
definitely, man.
and hang out.
Anytime. Let me know. We'll plan it like we did.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I would love to have your brother on the show.
I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
He will. He's gonna come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I appreciate it. You're not on social media?
No.
Okay, so you can't find Joakim, unfortunately.
I love it.
But you know, this is going to be on video as well. So if you see him around town, you know, just give him a fist dab or something like that. But no, I really appreciate you being here today.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah. All right, buddy.
All right.
Thanks. All right, thanks, guys. See you on the next episode. Bye.